Hello, welcome once again to another edition of our Coach's Corner program. I'm Jeff Ruth, along with Harding Boys basketball coach Jamie Pearson. And Jamie, we talked last week. You had a tough week coming up, and both games really kind of mirrored each other in a lot of respects. You got behind, you kept cutting back. I know both the River Valley game and the Big Walnut game on Tuesday night, you'd get it to 5 or 6 or 7, but just couldn't get it much closer than that.
Yeah, you're exactly right. We hung tough for a quarter and a half, both River Valley and Big Walnut. We knew it's probably the two toughest games back to back on our schedule, kind of looking back on it, so we knew it would be a challenge. But, they got up in the second quarter, and we were just fighting to get back, and we never quit. We kept chipping away, but we could never make the play we needed to in time. But, give those schools a lot of credit. They both have really good teams. I give our kids credit. But it's time to get back on the horse now because we have 5 more games left and definitely have some wins out there, but we got to keep playing better.
It seems hard to believe when you say there's only 5 more games left.
It always goes that way. It's the longest season in the world till it's over, and then it's like, what happened to our season?
Yeah. And two, certainly, I don't want to say winnable games,
Sure.
But anytime in the MOAC, nothing's given. But you have a couple of teams you've seen already in Clear Fork and Ontario coming up this week.
And they've seen us both too, and Clear Fork played us tough at their place last time. It was tied going into the fourth quarter, and we ended up having a huge fourth quarter to take them down. And then, Ontario really shoots the ball well, scores the ball well. Anytime you have to go to their place, it can be difficult. So winnable for sure, but if we don't bring our A game, we could get L's. So we just got to have a good day of practice and be ready for them.
All right. We'll come back. We'll take a look at the highlights from the game against River Valley and Big Walnut. But we'll do that right after these words. Once again, back on the Coach's Corner program, and we'll start off with River Valley. I saw the River Valley game here earlier in the year, and that was basically a one-possession game. I know you were able to get a couple of free throws late in the ball game, and I'm sure that night Coach Brown probably went in and circled last Friday on the calendar as a time to get a little bit of revenge.
Yeah, one of those county rivalry games we've spoken about. River Valley is really playing well right now, winning 8 or 9 in a row. They really pass and shoot the ball well, and we knew they'd probably shoot it better at their home gym than at our gym. I wasn't really pleased with our defensive effort, and we've worked to correct some of those things. But they made big plays and big shots when it counted. They got a lot of good players, a lot of experienced players over there. I wish we could have got it done, but I expect them to have a deep run in the Division II tournament. So, like we said, onward and upward from here.
I don't normally pay a lot of attention to the JV game, but I wanted to bring that up. You're down 38-19 at halftime of the JV game. You came back then in the second half, and I think at one point you outscored them. It was like 34-6 or something like that. That had to have been one of the great halftime speeches of all time.
Well, it is. We got a good JV coach in Curtis Manley, and as a varsity coach, those freshmen and JV games are really important to me. I love to watch as much of those as I can. I love when we come up on top. I love when we don't quit, we fight back. I love when we beat a county rival. And again, it was, by the time that game was over, that gym was pretty full. So a lot of those JV kids were playing in front of a packed house, and to be able to hold on to that and get it done. You see so often, when you expend that energy to come back, sometimes you kind of run out of juice at the end, but our kids didn't. And, I give Coach Manley, some of the players on that team, Landon Keller, Caleb Metz, Caden Paz, just to name a few, did some really big things to get that big win for our program.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights, beginning with the River Valley game last Friday. And again, you get Pleasant, River Valley, whoever. It's always a great atmosphere when you get those county rivalries together.
Yep, and a full gym, and they got to see Braylon Dyer hot early with a three-pointer there. We're really good when Braylon Dyer's hitting his shots. Alex Stokes, I don't know if we talk enough about him. Marquise Long with the long pass, and Alex there to follow it up. Alex is the guy, the glue guy, that does a lot of the little things that people don't notice. Very valuable part to our team. We have Logan Thrapp, who continues to play better and better. Not only now is he leading the league in assists, he's right up there in steals too. Definitely making his presence felt on the defensive side of the floor. Alex Stokes with the steal there. Just an alert senior that's played a lot of high school basketball. Trey Cady stepping into one from the corner there. When Trey has his biggest games, it seems that we're the most dangerous. Got to continue to get him going. And Braylon had a pretty good night. I think he finished with 17 or 19 points there. A lot of them were late. And then, what can I say about our sophomore, Boston Pearson? Had the block there. I think he was our second leading scorer. He has really come on the last 7 or 8 games for us, and he's really given us an inside presence that we value. Logan Thrapp there with the dish to Parker Iden, and then Parker Iden hitting a 3 from the corner. Big shot for Parker. Good to see him, drain one in there. And then more transition. Braylon Dyer gets up with the dunk. At that point, it was a little too late. We were down about 15. We kept fighting. Braylon continues to get hot. I think we cut it to 11 there. We might have had it to 6, 7, or 8, but it just wasn't enough. We fell short and lost by 10.
And then Tuesday night, a good Big Walnut Ball Club. Both teams had about identical records.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, they're playing Westerville North, Westerville South, Delaware Hayes, who's top 5 in the state, and playing right with them. So we knew we'd have our hands full. They were big and long. There we have Boston Pearson with the steal. Like you said, it was kind of a blueprint of the River Valley game. The difference was against River Valley, we couldn't stop them. And then against Big Walnut, we went spells where we couldn't solve their defense.
And you had good looks.
We've had real good looks a lot lately. That's been an issue. We just haven't been able to finish those. And so it's something we continue to work on in practice and something we're going to get better at. Alex Stokes there with the big three-pointer. Again, unsung hero for us, does a lot of the little things. We got Trey Cady. He hit a 3. He's been an outstanding rebounder for us, one of the top 10 rebounders in the league. Trey is. And then, Braylon didn't have a great night shooting. Right there, he hit one, which was big for us. We got some seniors that have played a lot of minutes, and you see some of that experience paying off. Trey Cady using his 6'7" frame to block a shot there. He really gives us some interior presence defensively at times with his length. Alex Stokes with the big steal, to cut the lead to 8. I think we had it to 6 in the game. Had a crucial turnover late.
Yep, you had it 6 and missed a shot. They came down and hit a 3.
Yep.
So what could have been a 4-point game all of a sudden is 9.
Well, and sometimes the ball just doesn't bounce your way. I think they hit a half-court shot. Their first 3 was a bank 3. It just seemed like they were getting some rolls. I was proud of how our kids played. I think it was a great tournament prep game because that's kind of big-time OCC Columbus basketball, and it's likely a team we'll see similar to in the first round of the tournament. And then, they play Delaware Hayes stuff, and we have Delaware a week from Tuesday. So, we're getting the knife a little sharper to play some of the big boys down in Columbus, and that Big Walnut was one steady of that, and we'll see how we can do at Delaware in a week or so.
We didn't see it on the highlight, but Tuesday night, I think it was Trey that literally went face first into the bleachers. And, you're down 10 or something like that, but just that play just showed me what kind of a hustle guy he is.
Yeah, when you've coached for 25 years and you've covered probably almost twice as long as that high school sports, you see some crazy stuff from plays to injuries. That was a scary moment. But again, Trey's sacrificed himself for his body for the team, diving on loose balls many times. I was just happy he was able to get up and get right back in there because it didn't look good when it happened.
No. And one thing, I don't think we've talked about this, but I wanted the last couple of weeks I wanted to bring it up and just hadn't gotten to it. The new rule this year with the 5 fouls in the quarter, is that something you're in favor of? It really doesn't make much difference to you? How do you feel about that?
I really like it because, it's almost like last year you'd have games where you'd pick up 4 or 5 fouls in, let's say, the third quarter. Then you get to 6 or 7. Maybe you're in the bonus before the third quarter's over. Then you got to pay penance for that the whole fourth quarter, and you got to be careful how you play. The thing I like about this is I think it gives you a little bit more latitude to play, and it resets after the quarter, and it doesn't affect the whole half. And so, I think most coaches I've talked to would probably be in favor of it. The benefit is you don't get the 1-and-1. but you get the 2 shots. And so you get the guaranteed 2 shots, but you got to get more fouls essentially to get there with 5.25 instead of 7.5. So, I think it's been a good thing. I don't know if it's sped the game up. I know we spend a lot of time talking about pace of play in sports, but I don't have any complaints.
Okay. We'll come back. We'll preview the games coming up this week. We'll do that right after these words.
Lucci's Italian Scratch Kitchen is a unique dining experience with made-from-scratch ingredients and meticulous preparation of each and every plate. At Bucci's, you will not find a canned sauce in our kitchen. Every sauce from marinara and alfredo to our scampi and marsala is prepared from scratch every single day for every single meal.
Don't forget the dessert prepared from scratch in our kitchen. Choose from fresh-made cheesecake, tiramisu, brownies, or creme brulee for a sweet treat to finish your meal.
Bucci's is also expanding with the addition of our Dock Lounge, featuring the best in local live entertainment, as well as a variety of signature cocktails and limited menu items.
The upstairs Urban 501 area is available to host your most special occasions and private events.
Also coming soon to Bucci's is our fabulous outdoor courtyard area where you and your friends can enjoy outdoor games and entertainment. Located at 320 West Center Street in Marion, Ohio, Bucci's Italian Scratch Kitchen, Urban 501, the Dock, and the Courtyard are your one-stop entertainment hub for any event, large or small.
Hello, welcome once again to another edition of the Coach's Corner program. We're going to talk Harding girls basketball this time with Anaya Mitchell. And Anaya, I know earlier in the year you lost a lot of close games. Last couple weeks, though, you're starting to put things together, and you've been able to win some of those close games.
Yeah, we have been, finally.
Does it seem hard to believe the tournament draw is coming up this weekend and tournaments start here in another little more than a week or so? Does it seem hard to believe that the season has gone by that quick?
Yes. I think this season actually went by way faster than my freshman and sophomore season.
Okay. Well, we'll come back. We're going to take a look at some highlights from a couple of the games that Harding has played in the last week or so. We're also going to talk about the game coming up with Pleasant this week. We'll do that right after these words. Back once again on the Coach's Corner program, talking with Anaya Mitchell, and Anaya, we talked a little bit about the fact that you lost a lot of close games, just don't have a lot of depth on the team. But it doesn't sound like the last few weeks girls have gotten discouraged, and it sounds like they're playing together really well.
Yeah, we have been. We started playing as a team and trusting one another, and everybody on the team is starting to play their role.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights from some of the ball games that Harding's played recently.
This game was for sure a tough game. I think this one might be the toughest team we actually played throughout the whole entire season.
Really?
Yeah.
And there's some tough teams in the league this year, aren't there?
Yeah, but they're most definitely one of them. They kind of took me out the game.
Well, that doesn't happen very often either, does it?
No, so it's very hard. But we still fought and still tried. Try to transition them more and try to run the floor more.
Nice three-pointer there. Natalie's just a freshman, correct?
Yeah.
She's given you some good minutes, I know, this year.
She must definitely play her role as a freshman.
And final score, rebounding was pretty even. They only got you by 2 in the game against Ontario here at Harding.
There's Talia with the three-pointer. We had a really good game that game. Everything started to click. They couldn't really stop our diamond. They couldn't really get past half court with our diamond. It was a very close game, actually. It was too close.
They cut it to 2 there. But big bucket there, a nice three-pointer to give you a little cushion.
Our thing was we was trying to put pressure on them the whole entire game because we knew there's like some girls who couldn't really handle the ball, so we put pressure on the ones who really couldn't handle the ball.
Come up with another steal there. At this point, they cut it to 4, but a nice job to get the rebound there. And here they cut it to 2. You're kind of thinking at that point, here we go again?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you were able to prevail in that one. And then most recently against Mount Vernon.
This game was it was our senior night that night, so we kind of started off slow. I think we were down 8 points, maybe 10. We came back with the win.
Yeah, down 7 there.
That was a good shot by Janae.
Nice three-pointer there, yeah.
Then a shot right there from Adley Haynes. Those were big shots we needed.
Mm-hmm.
And then a three-pointer by Casey Whitaker. And then a steal. That was a big steal for us. We really needed that.
And again, they cut it down to 3, and you were able to get the big steal there. Again, you're probably thinking, here we go again.
Yeah. I was a little nervous, just a little bit. And then Janae with the steal.
Because they had a chance to take the lead there. And another steal. Defensively, it looked like you played really well in that game.
We did.
And the final score there, 39-36. So you got Pleasant coming up on Friday night. Obviously, anytime you play River Valley or Pleasant, it means a lot.
Yes, it does. I think those is the most high-key rivalry games.
Yeah, and Shelby the last few years, they've had some pretty good
Yes.
teams as well. What does Pleasant do well, and what are you going to maybe have to do that you didn't do the first time around?
Pressure them, pressure their best player, handle their pressure when they run their full court diamond or whatever. So just handling pressure from them. And then after we do that, we should come out with the win, and then rebounding.
Okay. Well, I like the confidence, and it'd be nice if you could get 3 in a row as you head into the tournament draw this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, Anaya, best of luck.
Thank you.
Welcome to Harding Telecom Digital Media. Unlike television, print, and radio media, which are all one-way communications, digital media creates an interconnected world of interactive communications that puts you in control of content creation and broadcasting. As a member of Harding Telecom, we have 3 ways of building your digital media skills. As an underclassman, you can take our semester-long class, Intro to Video Editing, where you'll be introduced to the latest hardware and software in digital media. Learn to create your own content with overlays, special effects, and audio processors. Your content will only be limited by your imagination. Telecom 1 is a year-long class that introduces you to the world of audio-video broadcast communications. Here you will learn how to operate video hardware and software, design sets, direct and produce events, and expand your editing capabilities broadcasting online and over our public access television channel. You will learn to produce daily news announcements and share your creations throughout our cable television and social media networks. Finally, Telecom 2 is our year-long class available for upperclassmen who have completed the prerequisite Telecom 1 class. Here you will produce and direct your own broadcast events. You will be put in charge of productions and lead other students through the introductory processes of media production. Many of our telecom graduates have gone on to study broadcast media in college and launched careers as television news and weather personalities, Emmy-winning editors for nationally syndicated television shows, and audio production engineers. So don't hesitate to schedule Harding Telecom Digital Media. Talk to your guidance counselor or see Mr. Mullins in room 201.
Back once again to close out this edition of the Coach's Corner program. And Thursday night, Saturday night, the Ontario game on the road. It's tough playing. It's not back-to-back, but it's 2 games in 3 days. So, Friday, you come in, probably do a little walk around or shoot around or whatever, but you don't want to extend yourself too much with a game coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, at this time of year as a coach, you're really cutting your practice times down, maybe to an hour and a half, both to try to keep the legs fresh and keep the interest level high for our kids. But you're exactly right. We've had a couple days to prepare for Clear Fork. We'll have 1 day to prepare for Ontario. It does help that we've played them before, and it helps them because they've played us before, so we kind of know each other pretty well. But maybe you try to touch on a couple things at a Friday practice that you want to fix with your team, and then maybe work on a couple things that maybe they hurt you with the last time you played them. Just kind of reviewing personnel, and at this time of year, you're always trying to shoot a bunch in practice, get a lot of jumpers up, a lot of free throws up. Because by this point, you don't really have a lot of new stuff in. Your kids know your offense and your defensive system for the most part. So, you're right. You kind of get to the point where you're doing walkthroughs, not as much conditioning. But, Clear Fork will be a challenge, and our mind's on them right away. They have a kid that's been playing really well. Holtz, a big kid inside, a junior, was leading the league in scoring the last time we played him. His cooled down a little bit. But, they played River Valley tough. They were up on River Valley by 2 at the half. At times they can really, really shoot it. So definitely a dangerous team that we'll respect and we'll prepare for. And then, like you said, Ontario going to our last road game. OCC, they're playing better as they're getting used to their first-year coach, Jerry Moten. They got a couple of guards that can really score it as well, and they're a three-point oriented team as well. So definitely some challenges. I'd say if you'd ask the kids, they'd like this because they'd rather play than practice. Mm-hmm. So, this is a game where we have 3 games in a week and 2 games in 3 days. We'll get a break there before Pleasant, maybe give the kids a day or 2 off, and just kind of be fresh for the last home stretch of the regular season.
All right, very good. Well, if possible, get out. There's not many games left, so get out and support the Harding Presidents. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Coach's Corner program. For head coach Jamie Pearson, I'm Jeff Ruth. Thanks for watching.